All right, Shalom, Shalom. First things first, I want to give our honor and praise unto Yahweh, Bashem Yahushai, Bashem Kakadash, Barakatah Yahweh, Barakatah Yahushai, Barakatah Yahweh, Barakatah Yahushai, Bashem Kakadash. We give double honors to the apostle elders, which are the apostle elders at Great Millstone, to you hopeful elect on the four corners of the planet Earth, and the confusion of face that's coming in these last days. We're in the time of the end, 2020, year of prophecy. You know, hey, so it's beautiful times, man. Um, this lesson is going to be titled Roman Empire Had Super Bowls, or Super Bowls in Roman Empire, something on those lines, because you just had the Super Bowl that took place. I was trying to do this lesson last night, but it didn't work out. But Wadi Yabashim Shah for allowing me to do it now. And to go into it, I was just looking up articles and looking up different things. That's how you know the internet is set up by Yabashim Shah, because you have balance. You have, if you can go on the internet and look at some of the most off stuff, or you can go on the internet and find some of the most on point stuff, which is the truth, which things that accent the truth, which is the that's why it says in Daniel's that knowledge shall run to and fro, all right, and wisdom shall increase. So we're in that time right now. So the internet is that wisdom increasing. So you got to use it for the right means, and you can find a lot of great things that help you edify the truth. So let's jump right into the article. This right here is from antiquitynow.org. Okay. And it says Super Bowl, I think that's 10, 15. What is that? 54. I think that's 52. 52. If I'm off, it's Salakia number in here. 47. Okay, so Super Bowl 47. All right, let's go here. And it says Super Bowl 47. It says Super Bowl 47 and the superstars of ancient Rome. The stadium is hot, packed with roaring fans ready to cheer for their favorite player. Above the vendors are screaming out what food and souvenirs are for sales. The city is festooned with colorful achievements, sporting advertisements, sporting muscular bound celebrities endorsing the latest products. Super Bowl 2013. Think again. It's actually ancient Rome. As the doors open, the gladiators emerge, boldly uh, stuffing onto the field for their daily games. The crowd goes wild, Roman BCE style. Today, our football players are celebrities. They tell us what to eat, what to wear, which cell phone to buy, and even cable provider to use. They have their own action figures, scores of fans, and high-powered agents to make sure they're making the most money. It was no different throughout the Roman Empire. This is why Rome. This is Rome all over again, because they're doing the same thing they did back then. It says, and they had the gladiators, and they were superstars. The teams were, and it says the teams were the ludi, our gladiatorial schools, each run by a Lanistia, who owned the ludi and the gladiators, which the most gladiators were slaves, prisoners of war, or criminals, which it says with little or loose and much to gain, little to lose and much to gain. Salaki. Fame, money, and freedom if they excelled in their sport. The Lastiasa, the Lanastias. Now, I looked up that word Lanastia. Let's go right here. Right here, you see a picture. You see the Lanastias. Let me make sure I'm getting that right. Yep. Salaki. The Lanastia. And you see him right here. This is him right here. Okay. And you see these are two Lanastias that are owned by separate people. Okay. And they're battling gladiators. Okay. Because they're most of them are slaves, right? And it says it was the Lanastia who provided the troops or gladiators for sale or hire to the producers of the show, a reviled figure in Rome literature compared by Martial with the Lubius informers and liars. The Lanastia was infamous and regarded as both a butcher and a pimp because he traded in human for profit. That have been it says that having been said, Creo congratulates Attius on his troop of gladiators when he purchased in 56 BC and explains that he could recover the cost of his investment in only 2 contests. So they were just going back and forth to pretty much talk about what? Money dealing with these gladiators, man. And what do you have today? What I did is I went to the top sports gladiators, right? Because they said that they were making money off of the actual people of the guys, right? That's the same thing you see today. Because look at these agents. The number one ranked agent right now is Jonathan Barnett. He's a soccer guy, and he's worth what? Commission $121 million is what this guy's made from doing what? Deals. Then you have what? Scott. You have Scott, and he's in baseball, or Baraz. He's in 1.18 million, right? Let's go to football. The next football coach is the next guy on the football is right here. Tom Candon, and it says what? He's worth 46.6 million. All right. And then you have the next guy. He's worth what? 400. He's worth 44.8 million. So these guys are getting, and they're getting money off of this, man. Just like back in the days of the ancient Roman Empire, these guys were flourishing. They might not be what you call millionaires because money was more back then. You didn't need a lot of money back then to make Salakia. You didn't need a lot of that money back then. You could have small amounts of it, but it was worth more. Nowadays, you have to have a large amount of the same money to equal what a large amount. So you got to have a large amount of money to have the same buying power that in the ancient world you didn't need that much money. If you had a chest of gold, you were damn near a millionaire because of that gold was so scarce that to have that amount of gold was you were high in wealth, man. So that's the same thing that back then these guys were millionaires. Some of these so-called Lanastia. Hope I'm pronouncing that right. If not, forgive me. But they were raking in the dough because Rome, the Roman Empire, that was called bread and circus. Okay, bread and circus. Let's look right here. Yep. It says bread and circus. Bread and circus is a mythological phrase, critique, superficial appeasement. It is the attribute of Juvenal, a Rome poet active in the later 1st and early 2nd century. It is used commonly in the culture, particularly political context, where you have what? Bread and circus. It says that the phrase meaning generate public approval not by excellency in public service, but public policy, but by diversion, distraction, or by satisfying the most immediate or base requirements of the populace. So that's what you have this Super Bowl, man. All right, everybody go over the Super Bowl. They had it back then. That's nothing but bread and circus. That's why they push everybody to watch that and to concentrate on that while you have an outbreak going on, man. You have hundreds, if not thousands, of people that are dying and more that's getting affected by this virus, man. So the things you need to be concentrated on, you're not concentrated on, but you concentrated on bread and circus. And you can be like, oh man, y'all serious? No, this is the time we living in, man. Because this is the same time Rome fell, and America's doing the same thing that the Roman Empire did, because it's the head that was wounded and it's coming back in power. It's been in power. It's going out of power now, but it's been in power. All right, let's keep reading here, and it says the team. Let's go down. It says the Lanisteas acted as agents and made money only when the gladiators were winning. So it was important to scout out the most promising athletes, just like you have scouts, man, recruiters. You have recruiters back in the ancient world. It says, and who you think they were getting? They were getting Jake, man, because Jake shines when it comes to this athletic thing. It says train them with top-notch trainers, usually former gladiators. Feed them well, including specifically prepared muscle drinks. What are you talking about? Smoothies, man. And make sure they were well loved by the fans and aristocrats by bringing in plenty of denarii coinage. Contrary to popular wisdom, the thumbs up or the thumbs down practice wasn't used as much as has been portrayed. Most gladiators survived unless wounded in battle. The investment in gladiators was not to take lightly. And like today, the games generated big business for the local economy. So when they went down to Florida, it generated a lot of money for Florida. That's why they bid on that. Who gets the football? Who gets the Super Bowl? They don't just randomly do it. You got to bid on that, man. They go back and forth and they bid on who's gonna win that Super Bowl, so-called hosting. And once you host that, that's gonna generate a lot of money to your city or to your state that you bring that in, because people gonna buy hotels, food. That's why everything is bid on, man. Just like you bid on the World Series and different things like that. You bid on those things, and it says not them. Some of those just go where the team's at. But it says just like today, carefully records were kept on each man and his stats. Well, you got playing cards, man. How often he fought, how many wins he held, how many draws he had, etc. Just like you have boxing, just like you have all these other sports. Just like dude Holmes, he won the MVP because what? His stats were up to par, man. His stats were higher than everybody else, so they keep track. Just like they kept track in the ancient world, is the same way they kept track now. That's why look at these pictures, man. Look at some of these pictures. These pictures to show you how in depth these are mosaics from the ancient Roman Empire. And then look at some of these down here, portraying Roman gladiatorial games. You know, some of these guys could have been very how you say, good at what they were doing. Just like you got them coming back now, man. So a lot of these guys in this football world and different things, they were gladiators in the ancient world. They're just coming back and doing what they were doing back then, man. There's nothing new under the sun. Just like you had famous gladiators back then, you got famous guys today. Some of these wore masks, man. So some of these guys and these masks look like football helmets. If you look at these masks, look at these ancient Roman gladiator masks, right? Let's do this. Look at this. Ancient gladiatorial mask, right? Show you how things repeat themselves. Gladiatorial mask, right? And let's go here. There we go. Football helmets. Look. Football helmets. Same thing. Gladiatorial mask. Football helmets. It's not a coincidence, man. This one especially. Don't mind the skull. Let's keep going down. The Roman gladiatorial mask. Look. Yep, look. Same thing. That show you reincarnation, man. What's the chances of them doing like the same design? I mean, like we took inspiration. No, it's just the same thing repeating itself. It says just like today, careful records were kept of each man and his stats, how often he fought, how many wins he had, how many draws he had. These statistics help to measure how much a particular athlete was worth. We see evidence of that stats in programs of games, in graffiti, and tombstones of the gladiators. So just like here. See? Just like you see in boxing. This is his stats right here. Looks like 10, 11, 12. Looks like this guy had 12, 12 something, and then 12 some another thing, and another. So they had stats next to him, man. Pictures and stats. So hey, things repeat itself, man. Things definitely repeat themselves. Let me just pull some of these precepts out. This is Proverbs 15 and verse 3. Proverbs 15 and 3. It says, the eyes of the Lord are in every place, beholding evil and good. Because you see what's happening right now, man. Yahweh Shem Yahshua is putting evil and good out here, man. You know, because he's watching Esau and everything that he's doing now. And he's getting ready to what? He's getting ready to deliver us, man. He's getting ready to deliver us from the condition that we in. But Jake don't want deliverance, man. They don't want deliverance. It's like this is First Timothy 4 and 8. I'm just gonna get these few precepts. It says, "For bodily exercise profiteth little, but godliness is profitable unto all things, having promise of the life that is now is, and of that which is to come." So we're seeking after this true exercise, this true sport, which is seeking after salvation. That's what we going after, man. It says this is a faithful saying and worthy of all exceptions. So we got to move for this goal, man. We ain't moving out to be so-called rich in this world, because that rich isn't gonna profit, man. Just like you see what happened to Kobe. Kobe had all the money in the world. He couldn't stop that helicopter. He couldn't stop that helicopter, man. This is Proverbs 23 and verse 4. It says, "Labor not to be rich, cease from thine own wisdom." It says, without set thine eyes upon that which is not, for riches certainly make themselves wings, they fly away as an eagle towards heaven. So it's the same thing with the society today, man. They holding this football and money and wealth at a high prestige, but that's gonna fly away. Just like you see getting ready to fly away from Esau society, man. All right. So I just want to bring that out. The main point was just look, Esau's repeating himself. You know, football world is just like in ancient Rome. Is the same thing repeating itself. So with that, I want to give all praise and honor unto Yahweh, Bashem Yahshai, Bashem Makar Kadash, Barak the Yahweh, Barak the Yahshai, Barak the Yahweh, Barak the Yahshai, Bashem Makar Kadash, Shalom Akim.